Destination reached. The groundbreaker.
Hey, you got a minute?
You know, they're gonna make a serial about our adventures one day. I've been trying to think of a good title for this episode. I like the sound of The Skip Job. No, wait, I got it. Hope in Dark Times. Get it? Hope? Like the ship. That's what folks in the business call wordplay. Yeah, I've been thinking about that. Got a list right here. Thrilling tales of the unreliable. Or maybe spine-chilling stories from the edge of the system. Was also considering astounding adventures in the ether. I'm partial to that last one. Right, I'm overdoing it again. Got it. Sorry, boss. I'm just excited, you know? Stealing the hope from the board, skipping it across the whole damn system. This is gonna be great. I can't wait. Enough to boost my pay? I'm just kidding, boss. I know you don't pay me. I'm sure you've got plans to make. As for me, I gotta keep practicing my signature dropkick. The Hope might have cameras. Somehow, I always find my way back to the groundbreaker.
Anyone with eyes to see would not be shocked to hear that the colony is dying. But the board's solution, on the other hand, choosing to save themselves and their families and friends at the expense of the rest of the colony? Those fucking bastards. What are we going to do about this? Yes, of course. And when you do, you can count on me to back your play. Your instincts haven't failed us so far. Anything you'd like to discuss?
This is Alción News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertising.
Well. Watch out, Captain! Everyone all right?
No, I don't see this lightly, but...
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain. I'll lock up behind you.
That's the last of them.
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture's deluxe Falscoid collection.
Nicely done.
Oh, there. I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs. It is going well, I hope. I knew it. I just knew it. What a disaster. Did you get a good look around? What was it like? Truly? Why, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I can't believe they kept this from us. From me. The nerve. The audacity. Here, take your payment. I have to fetch my things. I don't care what I have to do. They'll give me luxury or give me death.
If it's meant to be, it'll happen.
How does it feel?
How does what feel?
Serving an instrument of corporate supremacy?
You're considering it, aren't you?
I always knew I'd get adventures one day.
Great! You made it! Listen, I know you're expecting a script, but you're the real deal. Just go in there and do what feels natural. No, don't question yourself. Just feel the scene and go with it. I got a feeling you'll know what to do. We gave the other actors real weapons to keep things authentic. And 'cause Josh is paying to see their logo on the big screen. Don't think it, just act. Now go in there, find your mark, and show us what you got.
Well, well. Here to stop us at last, Captain Steele? You're too late. All of this settlement CNP Hungry Time food pills, same nutritional value, but now with added filler, are ours. With their patented stomach stuffing effects and baseline vitamin content, we will be nigh unstoppable. They are? What an unexpected twist. You may have fooled me for now, but not for long.
Am I in the shot? Hang on. I'm gonna give him the old millstone glare.
Do you remember the last time we faced each other? The Battle of Axejack, staring one another down across the void of space while flaming debris fell like rain around us. I see you haven't changed a bit, Steele. I had you surrounded and outgunned, but you overcame my superior numbers with tactical thinking and a Hammersmith limited edition grenade launcher.
Wow. You got a real limited edition? With 10% more ammo for 12% more carnage?
Quit upstaging me! I've been waiting for 5 years now, and at last my day for vengeance has come! I just got chills. But still, you'll not stop me now. I have this whole port wired with sub-micro energon transistors. Once we're away, I'll activate the gamma particulate field, and the quantaponic chain reaction will turn this whole place into vaporized plasma. Oh, but there's nothing you can do. I hope you've paid your burial fees and signed your personal death and dismemberment waivers, because this is the end for you. Line. Never mind, I think that's scene. To the break room, everyone. I need my Moab fizzy tea.
Cut! That was fantastic. With actors like you, who needs writers? Let's take 5. That was brilliant stuff. Do you write your own material? Hey, time is bits, right? I'm gonna have to fire the writing staff. What do those anemic fuckwits know about dialogue anyway? I'm thinking a whole new script. More pirates, bigger explosions, you flicking a Stogie Slim into a barrel of gasoline. Marketing says that kind of action sells tickets. Here, this is for your work today. I'll be in touch once we get that script.
Rizzo's knock you out bar.
Mr. Millstone, you seem like a young man who could use some direction in your life.
Is this about me ending up in the wrong bunk? Because I swear I wasn't that drunk. The hallway's disorienting.
Son, you can always come to me for speak. Impressive place Dr. Chartrand has.
Smells like a med bay.
That's far enough. What are you doing here? How did you even get inside? You're in my house, and I'm not fucking around. Start talking. My what conspiracy?
Captain, you cannot seriously believe this conspiracy nonsense.
Let's talk about this. Please. I think there's been a crucial misunderstanding. If you came looking for some elaborate scheme, it isn't here. All I'm doing is trying to keep Halcyon alive.
What are you doing, Doctor? This information is beyond classified.
You can write me up in your report. It hardly matters. I'm researching a new way to feed the colony. The crops we transplanted from Earth don't give us the nutrients we need. Our colonists might not realize it yet, but they're starving. The food we grow here barely sustains human life. The colony won't last under these conditions. So, the board let me approach the problem from a different angle. I believed that I could adapt humans to live on Halcyon's terms. That I could change us. Give us the ability to derive sustenance from the nutrients the food does have. Look around. We're the only intelligent aliens in Halcyon.
Wrong. We got eyewitness reports. I'd show you myself, but I left my copy of Thrilling Tales back in my bunk.
This isn't some adventure tale from a magazine. I know. I was there. Thomas was the first to take the gas. A simple test, he said. I told him not to, but he insisted. We learned a lot from his autopsy. Enough that we could try it on each other and know when to stop. No one else died. I must find a cure so his sacrifice isn't in vain. I wouldn't allow us to experiment on convicts or the unemployed. It's wrong, no matter what the law says. Everyone agreed. We accepted the risks.
So you doomed the greater good for the well-being of a few bad apples.
I'm desperate. I've already asked all the best institutes on Earth for help. Years ago, we sent a message out on the Cornelius Vanderbilt, but heard nothing back. It's been missing for over 2 years now. They never re-established contact after the skip to Earth. Of course, the board is keeping that under wraps.
I can certainly understand why.
Board cover-ups? Vessels disappearing into the aether? Sounds like the work of aliens to me.
The board is uneasy about letting the colony know, seeing as half of their military force vanished without a trace. I'd prefer if you didn't use my name when you talk about this. My contract has a list of very terrible consequences for breaking secrecy. Once we can replicate a success, the board will move to rewire our nucleon. With any luck, our next generation will be eating and thriving off halcyon crops.
I don't understand a word she said, but I don't like her tone one bit.
Progress is the future. Adaptation is survival.
We haven't made enough strides to advance the plan. Hardly any at all. But we have to keep trying. You could always shoot me. I assume that's why you're here. If I die, there's no one who can reproduce our work. Every sacrifice will have been for nothing. And we'll be no closer to a solution that feeds the colony.
You know how I feel, boss. If you're a cog in the corporate apparatus, your face is pretty much fair game. That's my motto.
Everything I did was for the good of the colony. Consider that.
It may not be pretty, but we risk the colony's downfall if we hinder the doctor's research.
I hope you know what you're doing, Captain. I leave it in your hands. The one on the wanted posters? They say he's an anarchist. A madman, a butcher. I'll do it.
Doctor!
What choice do I have, Commander? If working with Wells is the only way I can save the colony, then I will damn well do it. I need to get out of here. Phineas can contact me when he's ready to work together. For now, I'd better pack up the lab and head somewhere discreet.
Not so fast. Captain, what you just learned is beyond your clearance. Hell, it's beyond mine. Give me one reason why I should let you walk out of here alive. That's a real good one. Now move along. The doc has a lot of work ahead of her. Tidying up and such.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
Investing. Come. There.
I believe. Destination reached. The groundbreaker.
You know what your problem is, Vic?
Other than being called Vic?
You scienticians got no imagination. That's your problem.
I've imagined you being quiet. It was a nice daydream.
Everything always goes according to plan, right? Ain't that what Scripture tells you?
Scripture also tells us to exercise patience in the presence of the young and the foolish. But I repeat myself.
Salvage is a family business. We've got each other's back.
Is it done? Well, damn. Contractor grew a conscience. As your employer, I'm both angry and disappointed. I'll add that to your file. Technically, I owe you an exit interview. Care to justify your betrayal of our species, or are we finished here? You're awfully quick to trust someone who offed her colleagues and called it a good start. Out of my office. We're done.
The thanks we get for showing a little integrity.
What a surprise. Seems we're no longer wanted here.
Time for you to move along. You keep lingering like this, I'm bound to get nervous.
Got it. Heads down.
I said, get...
What was the score on last night's game? I missed it.
Last night's game? Back to 16, Darlings 3. How do you like them mock apples, Max?
Since when have Cleo's Darlings played so poorly in a consecutive sweep? You wouldn't be pulling my leg in order to win our bet, would you?
This is Halcyon.
Why are you asking me?
We
Don't
interrupt
the
your
Scripture
regular
tell you that everything happens by the will of the universe?
What do you...
Heads up!
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Something about being in space gives me the creeps.
Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the Report
I was doing some maintenance on the radiators and found this lying around. You look like you need it more than I do.
Well,
CNP Boston baked beans. When
We are now in orbit above Byzantium.
I've always...
Like a star, darling. Square your shoulders. Hand on your hip. Eyebrow cocked. Yes. Perfect. My heart is all aflutter. Yes, that's the sauce. What can...
I love Byzantium. Where else are you going to find art?
Destination reached. Scylla.
Just that good. I have your back, Captain. That's the last of them.
We're now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain.
No one saw...
We are now in orbit.
Remember that
While you... Nope. Understatement of the year, darling. Believe me.
I've always loved.
The best finest.
If you would like to sign for a pub...
How many... Let me just look. It appears that a parcel for Ms. Jolicoeur It was. And now it's being... Let me see here. A parcel... Think...
Out with it, you wretched contraption!
Hey, Vic. You got a good one for you. I assure you, I am jittery with anticipation.
The Grand Architect to make a forced pocket. It's so big, even he couldn't eat it?
Son, the existence of the Grand Architect as a personal and real deity is a fundamental misunderstanding of OSI theology. The architect is largely metaphorical. You understand?
Uh-huh. Keep talking, Vic. I know when I got you beat.
Halcyon parcel... How... I must respectfully ask that you... Maintaining proper... If you would like to lodge a complaint about the... If you would like to request... I see you're familiar...
Of course. If you could just verify for me that you are... Yes, I can see by your everything seems to...
What's gone into Bachmeyer?
I love Byzantium.
Hey, careful. Don't go running around in the middle. You mean Ms. Jolicoeur? She was reported for practicing We found her in her office, working on something perverse. She didn't cooperate, so we never took her for a dissident sympathizer. No argument there. Feels like the whole colony's going insane. What with dissidents infiltrating the walls of Byzantium, Byzantium cultural standards are enforced by Universal Defense Logistics. Universal Defense Logistics. Your first and last line of defense in the war against sedition. Hold it right there. What? I don't have time for this. Move along.
Yeah, boss?
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as what's nothing too out of the... Not... Yeah. Bocconu, the author. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the but...
Remember that stranger I saw in the square?
Spacer's choice. It's not the best choice. It's
Didn't I request no more fertilizer shipments be brought on board? Who keeps ordering these?
Yeah, so this is my hidey spot now. I was looking for a place that was quiet. I figured the kitchen would be louder than the cozy light. Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. He meant funny. It's not normal for anyone when...
We are now in orbit above Edgewater, Captain.
And your rations yet?
Talking to the good vicar always lifts up my spirits.
I don't have time for this.
What's that?
What do you...
No!
I appreciate what you... By all means. This whole...
The groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Rizzo's purple berry punch. You want a punch? Right here.
It's almost time for today's... Any...
We have arrived at... I need your...
We're not exploding, so I guess it worked.
You know, shows how much Get out of here on your own accord.
Soldier. What? Take him down! No time for that! This must be unsettling for you, Captain.
Should be...
That's the last of them. Down.
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious. Greetings. Probably not, but don't let that stop you. My Constellation executables could search and also
Worst way is to go out, I suppose. It's nice knowing you, boss.
Doing it.
ADN. But that you should.
Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but
Don't mess with us!
I never felt anything like that. I'm gonna need a minute.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
What do you... I don't have time for this. Move along.
That had to hurt.
Captain,
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was...
I'll be here. We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Our survival.
Captain, I believe the crew...
Those board goons kidnapped Mr. Phineas and hauled him away to Tartarus. How are we gonna get him out?
And here we are, entertaining the notion of busting him out. That's insane. And likely a hell of a lot of fun.
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward...
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business.
It's the craziest plan, and I mean that.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now.
I think it's insane, but...
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits.
You're asking for more than bravery from us.
Let Sam get...
The entire...
If we don't make it?
Got my trusty talk.
Command.
pleased to inform you. Please. Oh.
Attention.
See you soon.
Did right by us. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
How long we've lasted on the surface? Entering the labyrinth's the easy part. Making it back out. I'm still trusting your plan on that one, Captain. I suppose it would be too late to back out now, huh? Fear not, Captain. I'll watch your back.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. And I see you've brought the...
Yeah, keep talking, pal. I'll just keep thinking of a place to bury your body.
And the convicts. The vicar. You know, most people, once they're out of prison, don't seem keen on returning.
Oh, I would go anywhere to see you fall, sir.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable... It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Yeah.
I believe we could ask you the same.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization. Oh, right. This coming from the psych... We don't need...
Can't get any mercy from me.
Pass that armor! In one piece?
right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So, get in there and fight!
Everything in my life has been leading up to this point. I believe I am ready for this.
All right, boss. I'm ready.
Captain, you've been working with... I'm afraid I can't. You're a gifted warrior, Captain. You've made your... For all your talents, you are the enemy of... You make... Oh. That isn't... That is... This...
Nicely done.
Get me out of here!
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was... And you...
First the food supply, and now this. That's it. I'm done. There is no plan, just random...
You're experiencing a crisis of faith, preacher. Don't worry. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. Yes, we do. We must begin the revival process. We're going to need a leader. You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow...
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the from the moment he landed in Emerald Vale. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. Between MSI's worker-centric, consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took sublight salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the sublight family together. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as for Adelaide, under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. Even the Gorgon asteroid, the destroyed Gorgon, but for all that, in spite of everything, the Rizzo's company and with due to the your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony. After all he'd seen and heard adventure, once the matter with the Hope, the stories of her adventures spread across the colony. And Nyoka returned. The SAM unit that Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that, as for Dr. Phineas Wells, he eventually came to terms with his own past, and Dr. Wells was able to revive In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists, Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and support. And what about you? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one...
unequip performing and...
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat!
Various sanitization assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy.
Getting in's one thing. Let's just hope we're able to get out again.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command not received.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
I can take a hint.
What was that?
Are you new here? Oh.
Well, look who it... I'll be damned. And...
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them.
And... Oh.
Interactive database updated. The unique...
When you go off and get yourself shot... I'm not... Besides... Yes, he is an extra...
At least that...
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of... I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight!
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain-out remover. It's ruthless on residual blood splash.
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
You... Fair enough. Yeah. That isn't true. That... I'm aware of Dr. Wells' plan. Revive some brilliant scientists and engineers from the Hope and work with them to save the colony. He's already revived you, after all. 50 or 60 years ago, I might have agreed with you. But we've passed the point of no return. The best scientists in Halcyon can't save us now. I appreciate your confidence, Captain. But so long as you're allied with Dr. Wells, we can never work together. I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still operational. I can still put a stop to you. This prison is equipped with an auto...
Invasive yourself! Alright,
Just pissing him off! Nice one!
Dirt alert! Dirt alert! Warning. Crew member requires maintenance. That will analysis of effort. Wrong tool for the...
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. You... The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live. You're the best thing to ever happen to Alción. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds.
The OSI teaches that from the events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists: engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took sublight salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the sublight family together. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero-G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty, and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane, ethical Halcyon. They cleared the dead from Gorgon's laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis. Gorgon, which had once sown death and destruction across Halcyon, became a source of hope and renewal. The Gorgon Project's final explosive end was bittersweet for Olivia Ambrose. She wandered the colony's fringes alone, searching for others like her who despised the board and meant to destroy them. In time, she found Phineas Wells and his cadre of scientists, and she joined them in their efforts to save Halcyon. For a while, she even knew an uneasy peace. But for all that, Olivia found purpose in Wells' project. She was always haunted by the memory of her daughter, Minnie, who hadn't lived to see the better world they were building. She never did forgive herself for the horror her work had wrought on Alción, but she remembered fondly the daring captain who'd put an end to it at last. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life: Byzantine culture and her sister Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life. The colony had moved on from Halcyon Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered Slug's transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, Slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, Many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. After all he'd seen and heard adventuring with you, the vicar Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith and joined the effort to rebuild the colony. Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.